Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So, today we are going to discuss an important issue with Copilot extensibility, agent extensibility, which I have questioned as the coupling problem. In nutshell, in Copilot, within the Copilot stack, if you want to use an agent, you also need the ability to create an agent. So, use is tightly coupled with create. What do I mean by use? If you install an agent as of now within Copilot, you would see that it gets listed on the right side of your screen of the Copilot page. Now, to have that ability, you also need an ability to create those agents. It doesn't matter which agent you have to install, but you also need the create agent access, which honestly is completely bonkers. I imagine a case where you can only serve the pages of my website only and only if I give you also the ability to create a page within my website. Who does that? And I'm not sure why it should be different with agents. Agent usage, agent consumption should be completely decoupled with the ability to create an agent. You might argue, okay, what's the problem? Just give everyone the create an agent access because after all, Microsoft has fixed the security and at least that's what they say. Not quite sure, because if you leave aside the governance challenges with this approach, there is a, I wouldn't say it's a major security flaw, but it's not a security flaw, but there are major security implications, especially if you are going to share your agents where you can break the SharePoint security. To understand this problem in much details, let's have a look at the interface of two users. Both the users have exactly the same licenses, exactly the same permission on the agent as well as underlying data sources, SharePoint or Dataverse. However, the only difference is that one user, user A, has the create access given to her because of this link, right? Because of this link, she can not only see get agents functionality wherein she can go ahead and start adding more agents. She also sees all the existing agents that have been released by the IT admins, right? Now let's have a look at other user with exactly the same permissions and everything on agents and data sources, but she does not have the create agent access. So she's not given the permission to create an agent, and because of that, she's not even able to see any agent that has been released to her for consumption basis, right? Which again is a bummer. Why should get agent and create agent be so much tightly coupled, right? It doesn't make any sense. However, though this user cannot see the agent, she can still go back to the agent section here, go to her apps and add the agent. Let's look here. For example, is this one. She can go here and add it. Now, again, what happens next depends upon what channel or how the agent is spent. For sometimes, if it is, I think, a declarative agent or so, it will block itself. So I should see an error or maybe not. Who knows? Yeah, there it is. But sometimes there are some other agents, maybe created with Copilot Studio. Then in that case, this agent will get added, though it will not list over here, but it will get listed in the private chats of the user over here. You might very well argue here that what's the problem? Let's give everyone with M365 Copilot license the ability to create an agent, as does Microsoft. But there are major security implications of it because while sharing these agents, when end user creates them, they can inadvertently break the underlying SharePoint permissions and not be aware of it. To see the problem in much detail, let's assume we have a user who would like to create an agent on all the documents in this document library. Right? Let me copy paste the link. If you see behind the scenes, this is the permission as specified for this document library. An account of test 2 has the read or write access on it, but an account which is Akshay test 4 has no real access, right? Now, what happens if a user creates an agent based on this document library where the acts and then shares this agent with both Akshay test 2 and Akshay test 4? Let's have a look quickly. I come here, I say create a new agent. Let's go to configure. Just I don't care about the descriptions. Just leave it like this. And now, and for the knowledge source, I have copy pasted my document library's URL. I can have multiple lists from different sites over here if I would like to have. The user experience is pretty much the same. Let's I don't care. Let's and now let's create this agent quickly. The agent has been created. If I click on the sharing settings, notice how easy it is for end user to share this agent, and more easily they can come over here and start writing test 2. So this user already has access, no problem. But what happens if I put a user who does not have access to the underlying document library? Notice that it does not tell me anything. And the moment I click on save, now the save is created. Let's see what happened behind the scenes to the document library. That was my document library. Now, if I look at the permissions have been broken, right? So for an end user, there is no way to know what happened behind the scenes. There was no notification or nothing. And it's even worse because if tomorrow I delete my agent, this permission will stay. So Akshay Test4 will always have access to it, even though the agent in question is no longer needed now. It's a um, yeah, lot of communication, change management, and of course, users will forget. Nobody's going to go back and remove the access from that critical content. Having said that, there are two things we need to know. This will happen only, the breaking of permission happens only if the user who is creating that agent and sharing it already has the grant permission access on SharePoint. So, for example, what I mean is if a user, in our case, let's say visitor, it has three, if he or she creates this agent and starts to share this agent with action test 4, the user's test 4 will not be added because the creator in this case does not have the change permission access. So from SharePoint security point of view, we are fully compliant, but still argue it's a security issue because the person who is giving these access does not really know what is happening behind this. Second important thing to know about this is that this weird mechanism of adding users directly happens only at second level. So if I had to create an agent based upon the whole SharePoint site and share it, this security will not be broken. I have no clue why Microsoft does it this way, but at the root level, security stays intact. It's only at the document library or the folder level that this problem happens. So as I mentioned in my prologue, this is the core problem that is stopping us from going gung-ho in with Copilot agents within large enterprises. Initially, Microsoft said they would fix it, but of lately they have changed their messages. I know lots of other companies are also asking for it. At least all my clients are. So I would request Microsoft to please decouple this coupling problem so that we can really use the Copilot agents to their full capacity within the enterprises.
So, folks, being a lazy bum as I am, it takes me a lot of enthusiasm to make these videos for you. So, if you would like me to make more, please help my mojo by clicking on like, share, and subscribe.